Back at it for another week here at Jefferson's for the Coach Joel Taylor Show. We appreciate everybody coming out tonight ahead of another matchup. It doesn't get any easier, right? Central Arkansas is looming on Saturday, but the Wolves have something special for them in store. But let's first, Coach, recap this past week's game. First off, it was good to be back home.
Always
good to play in front of the home crowd. Tough one against the Governors. I mean, if you just looked at the stats without watching the football game, you look at the stats, you look at the play-by-plays, we had a pretty good Saturday, but sometimes situational football wins out and things don't go your way, and that's what ended up happening on Saturday.
Yeah, man. Like you say, if you look at the stats, we felt like we should have won the game, but we didn't. It was another heartbreaker. The Govs, give them all the credit. Good football team. But just those little mistakes, we do a pretty good job on offense. We bounced back from the week before. We had 450 plus yards of offense. We had 0 turnovers. But you want to be able to create points there. We only had 16 points. So you got to create points, but we got to do a great job of sustaining drives, and we didn't. It was a couple times where we're driving, we get a holding call. I think we kicked the field goal there. We missed the field goal there, and then you drive, and then on 2nd and 4 we fumbled the ball, got it back, but now that makes it 3rd and long. So there's just those situations, man. If we just keep on, going and keep progressing as far as learning how to finish those drives, being better on 3rd downs. I think that'd be a lot better, of course, on the offense side of the ball. And then defensively, we played pretty well all the way until the last drive. We actually held those guys to 250 yards of total offense until the last drive. And we get to the last drive, they take it 70 yards and kind of punch it in. But the things that I look at, when you look at it, it was 2 runs they had, it was 2 counters, and we've been spilling it all day, and we don't spill it. And when we don't spill it, boom, they gash for 15 yards, and they did that twice in that drive. So, just those little things, we got to get better at, and I think we are. I like to call it the growing pains. But we got a good football team, and I'm always going to say that. I know the record does not show that, but our guys know that we're not a 1-4 team, and I think our league knows that as well. We just got to continue to work and get better. I see our guys growing each week. I see them growing every day. And at the end of the day, man, tough times don't last. Tough people do.
And your offensive line, a lot of injuries. A.J. Malua didn't play last week. Y'all had to shift a lot of guys around. They did a pretty good job holding up. I mean, obviously the 479 yards, but giving Davin some time to make some plays in the passing game. Yeah, man.
Me, I'm never ever going to make an excuse about anything.
I know that.
You know that. But, at the end of the day, we haven't played with a full O-line group for more than a week. And that's starting from when I first got here. It's always something bang, 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 So it's been a mixed bunch right there. And I think, Coach Davis, Austin Davis, has done a phenomenal job of, piecing that thing together. Hopefully we can stay healthy and have a consistent bunch right there. But those guys did a solid job. They did a solid job coming in and, protecting Davin. We tried to use some tempo to help those guys out. But we got to run the ball better. Davin had, 388 yards, which is awesome, right? But I want to see 150 on the ground too, And we wasn't able to run the ball consistently enough there. But, like I said, man, our offensive line, they kind of, patchwork together, man. But like I said, there's no excuses. At the end of the day, we're going to go out there, next man up, and we're going to go play ball.
And we talked about having to get Dylan Gary and Carmelo English more involved. Well, y'all certainly did that. I think Carmelo was targeted like 11 times, and Gary had your trio, Lockley, English, Gary, had 7 catches each. So it was good to see them getting some touches and really helping out the offense big time.
Yeah, man. Getting the ball in the playmakers' hands is always good. And like I said, giving Davin enough time to find those guys. And I think he did a phenomenal job, throughout the whole game. I think Davin's completion rating was, or completion percentage was 70%. So finding those guys, getting to the right spots was very, very encouraging. Not only for our team, but I mean for everybody. And I think that's going to build more confidence in our guys. guys. And like I said, we're getting better. You know, that's going to build more confidence in Davin, more confidence in TJ and all those guys, more confidence in our offensive line, able to dang on hold guys up, man. So, like I said, we're going to continue to get better, man. And hey, it's all going to come. We're going to score a lot of points. I just know it's on the cusp, baby. It's on the cusp.
Well, they had some big guys. You're talking about running that counter play. You're talking about your front seven, Coach, because your front seven, that front three especially, we call Rob Johnson's name a lot. Nemo, those guys really held up and let your linebackers go make tackles.
Yeah, man, those guys, man, those guys work hard, man. Coach Sumner Ellis does a phenomenal job with those guys, man. And those guys are coached really, really well, and they go out there and play really hard, man. And we appreciate those guys. The other guy I want to say is Warren Stevens-Te'o, and we also got a freshman playing right now, Cam Moore, you know, so he's out there, getting some burn and doing a really good job for us, man, strong and powerful, man. And then, you had on the edges, you got Malik. On the edge, you got another sack this game, so it's always good to have him. You got Solo, another guy, man, that does a really good job. I know his name don't get called a lot, man, but let me tell you what, Julian Richardson, man. Julian, man, he is, he's one of those guys you trust, man. He's going to do everything the way you're supposed to, they're going to get it done, man. Really, really smart. Good leader in that room, but they did a really good job of kind of, like I said, keeping those guys off of us, man. And Austin P did a good job too. Now they were doubling dang on Nemo and doubling Big Cam, and those guys were holding their water, man. Those were some big, powerful guys, man. So to see those guys do that, and for us to kind of slow that Austin P offense down, I thought was really good.
Well, Austin P is in the books. This is the Coach Joel Taylor Show here at Jefferson's tonight. When we come back, we're going to talk to our signal caller, Mr. Widener. Davin Widener, coming up next right here on the Coach Joel Taylor Show. All right, welcome back in here to Jefferson's ahead of our game against Central Arkansas coming up on Saturday, sitting down with our signal caller, Davin Widener. Dav, how we doing today, man?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know that you stay busy practicing football. I'm sure midterms going on. I know fall breaks here, there, everywhere around. So you're busy. Nonetheless, you're busy. All right, before we get started, I know we talked about this a little off mic. Little discrepancy in your hometown, right? We say Cocoa, Florida, but your dad wants you to be known from New Jersey. So talk about the New Jersey background a little bit.
Yeah, so I grew up in New Jersey for the first 13 years of my life. The whole where are you from, where do you live thing is kind of a big conversation in my household. So, yeah, I'm a New Jersey kid at heart, and, it just really sticks home to me. Yep.
What was the big thing about the move? I guess just probably business, family down south, warm weather in Cocoa Beach area. What was it like going to Cocoa, Florida High School?
It was awesome. Cocoa has, long-standing tradition, great football, great people. I've met some of the big role models in my life at Cocoa High. So really making that move was really big for, not only me, but my family as well. 3-sport
athlete in high school. It's okay to say that if football wasn't your favorite. It is now, right? But what was your favorite, most enjoyable playing while you were there?
It was definitely my senior year at Cocoa. We played a really, really tough schedule. It was just awesome to be able to compete with some of these guys that are, some of my teammates are playing really big football right now as well. So, that whole season was just really, really memorable and, something I'll never forget.
Well, first 2 years at Ole Miss, and now you end up at West Georgia, and you are you're the captain of this team, a brand new team, 90 players, 70 of them brand new, basically. How has that task been for you trying to lead this locker room?
It's been easy. I think it's a testament to our guys. I think they're really just taking on this challenge, head on, and the whole, people seeing it as a brand new team, and when you walk in that locker room, it doesn't always feel that way because we just get along so well. Some of these dudes I feel like I've known for my whole life, and again, that's just a testament to not only just the person that they are, but the character that they have. And I think we've done a really, really good job. And, if you've been here for 9 months now, or if they showed up in the summer, I think everyone's done a really, really good job of kind of putting themselves first and everybody just kind of putting themselves out there and getting to know one another.
I think it'd be pretty easy to also throw to Dylan Gary and Carmelo English and TJ Lockley. Those guys had a great game for you on Saturday. What's it like? I know you probably get a lot of extra work with those guys, not only during practice, but before and after. So what's it like specifically with those three guys right there?
Yeah, man. I think they're, first of all, amazing human beings. TJ was, the first one to welcome me with open arms here, and I think we got to do the same thing toward Carmelo and Dylan when they got here. I remember Carmelo English. We were on a campus outreach thing in Panama City, and this kid from Phoenix City, Alabama, just jumped in my car, and we kind of went on a weekend getaway together, and it was awesome. That kid's been amazing for not only the team, but just amazing to have around, and you can see what he does on Saturdays. And the same thing for Dylan. Dylan's a quiet kid, works his tail off, and I couldn't be more proud to throw to both of those dudes, and they honestly make my job a lot easier than it is.
A lot of guys on the offensive staff, but you specifically get to work with a guy like JT Daniels and Dane Stevens. Younger guys, but guys very knowledgeable in the game. What's it been like working with those guys week in and week out?
Yeah, again, they make my job so much easier just being around them and their knowledge of the game, and to see kind of what JT's been through in his career obviously has helped me a lot just in terms of his experience. And Coach Stevens, I've been with him for the past 3 years, but I kind of saw what he did with Jackson behind the scenes and how he helped him prepare for games. And, that's kind of the same deal that me and Coach Stevens have. Right after this, I'm actually going to go head over there and meet with him, about this upcoming week. But, I just think it's been awesome, and it's nothing but an asset that I have, week in and week out.
Central Arkansas, a top team each and every year, no different. They're coming off a loss. They're going to be hungry at home. What's it been like watching them on film and getting ready for this week?
Yeah, I mean they're a great team. Obviously, their standing says that. They have some really good ball players. I know they have some highly recognized kids on their team, especially on their defense, and their offense is a really good put together group. So I think it'll be a great challenge for us to be able to go on the road and face an opponent of that caliber. But I think we're all excited for the challenge, and we're honestly just as hungry, if not more, to go get our win back as well.
We'll kind of wrap up, Davin. What's it like playing for Coach Taylor? It seems like a player's coach. I know he's standing over here, so you got to be serious now. But what's it like playing for this guy right here, man?
No, it's been awesome since day one. From my visit till now, Coach Taylor's been the same person. Just consistent and just pushing his morals across to us, and just pushing that. Being a player is one thing, but the culture that you build is another. And we're all so young in this journey as a whole, as a program, since we've all been here. So just coming in and day out and just being consistent. Is only led from the front, and I think Coach Taylor does a really good job at that, and we can only follow behind that. So, it's been nothing but enjoyable, and I've really enjoyed it so far.
You ever seen a purple field?
No.
Well, you'll get to play on one on Saturday. Looking forward to watching you play, man. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, Davin Widener, our QB1 for the University of West Georgia. When we come back, we'll have Coach Taylor get some Q&A from the fans, and we'll break down the Central Arkansas matchup right after this. Well, welcome back in here to Jefferson's. We appreciate all the great folks here having us each and every Monday night. Coming up, don't forget, West Georgia and Central Arkansas coming up this Saturday. We're looking forward to getting up there. And you ready to play on that purple field, Coach? Does that bother you any?
Well, it don't bother me because I ain't got to play. We're actually gonna go up there not day of, but on that Friday and get out there. We're gonna stretch out there and kind of do some drills out there, so our players can kind of get used to it, because it is different now. It's definitely different when you talk about the hashes and all that type of stuff. So we want our guys not to be shocked on the day of. So so we're gonna be out there beforehand.
What we are going to do, though, is open it up to questions. If we got any of our great fans that have some questions for Coach Taylor, we'll take a couple here tonight. If anybody has some, just raise their hand, and the greatest SID, Jared Bogus, will find you with the microphone.
All right.
Mr. Gary is not scared.
This is a pretty easy question, Coach. Do you have a preference as to what time for the games to start? Noon, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock?
9 a.m. The earliest we can get it in, I want to get it in. The one thing about you like to play those like night games because they're kind of cooler. Saturday night under the lights. But at the end of the day, man, like that's a late game. And a lot of the players, their families come into town. So when you have a later game, they can't meet with their family until the game is over, So they don't meet with them till like 9, 10 o'clock, So we can have an early game, 12, 2 o'clock, You know, now I can get home to my wife at about 7 o'clock, you know, and they can get to their families and have dinner and those type of things, man. So definitely I'm an early guy.
Man of the people, Coach.
Yes.
Man of the people.
Yes.
So I noticed that the offense is a little weak. Like, no, I know they've been practicing. You said that Steve was working with them, but they're still like not bringing it like they normally bring it. So what do you think can happen if we can get them? And they are kind of sort of like protecting the quarterback at times, I noticed, but they're still not doing, like you said, they need to learn how to protect the quarterback. I don't see that team. How do you say it? I don't see the team spirit. I don't see them working like I want them to work together. It's something missing, and I don't know what it is. That I saw all the other years that I've been watching this team, these football players. Some of them, not all of them, but I'm just saying something is missing, and I don't know what it is. And I don't know if it's they're not hearing you or they're tired. I don't know. But the offense is like not as strong as it has been. The defense is great. Offense is not.
I want to interject. The offense had 479 yards of offense last week. I know the points did not equivalent to that, but first year, I'm going to bat for my coach right here. I mean, it's a process. It's not an overnight just dream and better. But I'll let Coach answer the question.
No. You know, as you go to, you know, we started out on fire, right? We beat Sanford, right? So I didn't hear anybody say anything about that offense. You know, last 4 games. Yeah, we've been struggling a little bit, but that happens. You know, at the end of the day, that happens in football. We want to struggle on defense, and our offense is going to be hot like wildfire. So I don't think it's something that's just, you know, one thing that's there or they're not listening or anything of that nature. What they're doing is they're getting out there and trying their best. That's what they're doing. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, they may have a good game, they may have a bad game, you know, but all I ask those guys to do is try their dang on best, and that's what they're doing. And at the end of the day, we did get better from the week before. You know, we put up 475 yards of offense, right, but it didn't equate to the points. And, you know, kudos to Austin Peay from stopping us getting in. But we do got to continue to get better. We got to continue to convert on third downs. We got to, you know, do all those little things, and all those little things are coming. And you can't compare this team to the last, and you can't compare the last team to, you know, what they did, you know, in 1980 when they won in 1982 when they won the national championship. You can't do that. All right. And the one thing I can tell you here is we got a good football team. These guys are coming together. It's going to start clicking. All right. If it's not what you're liking, I apologize.
We'll wrap it up with Coach White's question right here.
Coach, I'll just say really quickly, I've watched a lot of football games, especially in the West Georgia area. I think this team is as good talent-wise as anybody, and they're competing from start to finish. I'd like to say that before I ask my question. But my question is, this week, headed to Central Arkansas, a very balanced offensive attack. They've got a quarterback, 1,400 yards, maybe one of the best running backs in the conference. And
a big running back.
He's really good. So as a defensive guy, I know you're excited to match wits. Talk about the challenges they present, obviously, to West Georgia. And I don't want you to give the game plan away, but some things that we've got to do defensively to keep that ball in front of us.
Well, I think anytime you get into a game, you want to do a great job of tackling and getting off blocks. So we're going to have to do a great job doing that. Definitely got to load the box up a little bit, but you got to mix it up. You know, their quarterback can also beat you as well. And you talked about the running back. I think the running back is probably the best in FCS football, okay? When you talk about his stats, in 6 games, he has over 950 yards on the ground, and he also has about 200 in the air as well, you know what I mean, as far as catching the ball. So I think he's one of the best players in our league as far as FCS football. So we got to do a great job of tackling, got to do a great job of leveraging the box. And we got to load the box, you know. So we just got to do a good job, and we have, up till now of playing good, solid defense. But they're a good football team. At the end of the day, they were picked to win our league, you know. So they're a good football team. They're an experienced football team. Got some really good players. Like I said, you mentioned the quarterback. We mentioned the running back, but the backup running back, he's good too, number 4. You know, so that's a good football team, and we're excited about that challenge, especially as a defensive guy, you know, getting up there and trying to stop the run because, you know, defensive guys, we always say you got to stop what first? The run. So we're excited about the challenge.
Well, you talk about the run. We'll go right into it. Coach had a great question leading in. What about the pass? Quarterback's got over 1,400 yards, as we heard. Yep. So, obviously, he's throwing it to some guys as well.
Yeah,
What's the wide receiver, our corners matching up with them looking like?
Yeah. I think we can match up with those guys. I think Zero's a good player on the outside. Big guy, catches the ball well. They do a good job in the passing game as far as complementing off the run game. Play action pass, RPOs, things of that nature. Right now, they don't ask that guy to get back there and get a lot of drop back situations. And that's smart. You know what I mean? So we're not going to be in a lot of those situations unless it's third and long. But we got to do a great job of being disciplined with our eyes. And our keys, and doing a good job of leveraging everything properly. If we do that, I think we'll be okay. But like I said, they're good players, man. They've scored a lot of daggone points. Like I said, they're a veteran team, good football coach. I think he's been there for a while. So, like I said, defensively, we'll be up for the challenge.
Well, what about on the offensive side of the ball? Obviously, Central Arc last week gave up some points to Abilene. Abilene's going to score a lot of points on a lot of people as well. But what can we do offensively to continue on what we did this past week? 479 yards, just got to find a way to put points on the board.
Yeah, man. Defensively, they've been doing a pretty good job other than last week. And, Abilene found some things on them. I think it was a blown coverage here, blown coverage there, whatever it is. They jumped out on them early, all right, which is good. And, Abilene defensively, they can stop people as well with all that junk up front that they do. So it was hard for them to kind of stay with their game plan because what they want to do, they want to what? Run the ball. So once Abilene got up on them, it kind of took them out of their game plan a little bit. But the best thing about their defense, they got two good players, man. They got number 8, right? He's their, stand-up, call it Jack. We call it a cat. He was an All-American last year. Really good player, right? I think he's probably one of the best defensive players we got in our league. So we got to do a great job of, putting 2 guys on him when we're throwing that football and probably run away from him, you know what I mean? But he's a really, really good player. And then they got a Sam Backer, nickel-type guy, number 7. He's a really, really good player on the perimeter, getting off blocks, really physical tackler. And then you got the rest of those guys, man, all good players, man. But those 2 guys right there stand out. And we got to have a good game plan versus it. And we got to go out there and execute it. And, I feel really confident going into the game, honestly. Like I said, you see our offense get better each week, right? And I was so dang proud of our guys last week as far as moving the ball down the field. Yeah, we didn't get in the box, man, but I told you, when it clicks, it's going to be special, right? So I'm hoping this week it's going to click.
Well, talk a little bit about your travel arrangements. Obviously, you say you're going to go up Friday, get a little chance to get to that field early. So what's that looking like for you guys?
Yeah, man. So we'll probably leave the facility around 8 o'clock. We usually kind of do a walkthrough and some meetings right beforehand. But we'll do that. And then once we go on that bus at 8, everybody probably going to be asleep until we get ready to eat. But we'll probably make it up. I think we're going to go towards Memphis and find a Golden Corral up there and eat. So we'll leave there and go to Central Arkansas. Which is about 2.5 hours from Memphis, and get there and try to get used to that field, get used to the environment. And then from there, we'll get to the hotel. Hotel's probably about 40 minutes away. And we'll do our normal routine. We'll get in there and do some special teams meeting. After special teams meeting, we usually eat. And then we have a meeting, unit meeting, offense, defense. And then we have a devotion at the end, and then it's bedtime.
Well, it sounds like a good plan for a win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Excited.
We're looking forward to it this Saturday. You can listen on KISS 102.7, watch on ESPN Plus, or get in the car and start driving to Conway, Arkansas right now if you want to.
There you go. It's an 8-hour drive.
Yeah. So give yourself some time if you want to make the trip. Coach Taylor, we appreciate your time as always.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
We'll see you guys back next week here at Jefferson's. Thank you all for coming out. This has been the Coach Joel Taylor Show.